Welcome to 360 Taste, and today we are having a taste of mooncakes. So these are all the mooncakes that I've tried this year. So we have one made by Winghua, then we have one made by Superstar, another one made by Maxim's, and we have another one made by Winghua with a different filling. We have a snowy mooncake, and then we have haagen-dazs mooncake filled with ice cream. So mooncakes are typically eaten during the Chinese Mid-Autumn Festival. They're supposed to represent the moon, and it really is a festive food that's meant to be shared among family and friends. If you've never had a mooncake before, there's actually different variations that differ depending on which region you get it from China. And I've also seen other variations in Taiwan, Singapore, and Japan. The ones that I have here today are typically found in southern China, Hong Kong, and Macau. They have a very thin outside pastry layer filled with a really sweet and dense and rich sweet lotus paste, and there's usually a salted duck egg yolk in the center. So I was fortunate enough to be able to try some of the traditional mooncakes this year as well as some of the non-traditional mooncakes. So first off, we have this one made by Winghua Mooncake, and it is company that has been in Hong Kong for a very long time, since 1950. And I think this is one of the most classic and signature mooncakes. It comes in a beautiful tin box, and they have kept their traditional classic design with the flowers and the mooncake. And I think anyone that sees this package would automatically associate this with mooncakes. So this is what it looks like, this first one here. I cut them all in half already, and this is what it looks like on the inside. So as you can see, the salted duck egg yolk in here is huge, and it's enveloped by the sweet lotus seed paste and as well as the thin pastry around it. Yeah. So what I liked the most about this one was the salted duck egg. It was really nice. It was melted in your mouth, slightly salty, and has a really nice deep golden orange color. And for this one, it actually had the most distinct duck egg flavor, which might sound repulsive to many, but actually that's what gave it that nice rich, salty, eggy flavor, and it complemented really well with the sweet lotus seed paste. You can't really tell in this one, but in the one that I had, oil was actually coming out of the egg yolk. It was like a slight layer of grease was basically surrounding the egg yolk, which is a good thing. And the sweet lotus seed paste was also not too sweet. It was nice and creamy. What I didn't like about this one was the pastry. It was sort of like slightly damp. It was slightly moist, but not in a good way. It wasn't like baked very well. The whole thing kind of like crumbled into one, and I just didn't like how it was. It was just sort of like moist, and I couldn't taste the flavor of the outside pastry very well. And moving on, the second one is from Superstar Mooncake. It has a very formal and very elaborate box. That's something that you would give away in like a corporate setting. So this is the one from Superstar, and let's see what it looks like on the inside. Now this one, what I liked about it the most was the pastry outside. It was very, it was really well baked. They baked it to a golden brown perfection, and even though it's so thin, I was still able to taste the distinct flavor of the pastry outside. It had a really nice deep malt flavor to it, and what I didn't like about the first one, the Winghua one, was that sort of mushy mouthfeel from that outside pastry, but this one was nice and dry. I could taste the distinct flavor even though you don't get very much of it, And it didn't, when I bit into it, it didn't just sort of like crumble into one. You know, I could taste the texture and the flavor of the outside pastry. Now, what I didn't like about it too much was the lotus seed paste. It was really sweet. It was overly sweet, and you know, I just couldn't really taste the delicateness of the lotus seed. All I could taste was sugar. And as well, the egg yolk wasn't too distinct. You know, it was there, but I couldn't really taste that nice salty, like duck egg flavor. And this one just didn't do it for me. Oh, I forgot to mention that it's plated in gold. This one, it's plated, it has these gold flakes on top. And that's what makes it you know, really unique. This one, it's something that you definitely would give away, you know, to relatives and friends and stuff. But to me, I mean, you don't really taste the gold anyway. I mean, it just looks pretty, but it really doesn't do anything. And so yeah, this was not my favorite, but I loved the outside. So moving on, we have our one from Maxim's. This one. And this is what it looks like on the inside. Look at that oil, look at that egg yolk. The one that I had before actually didn't have this oil coming out of it, but now that I'm looking at it, yeah, it looks really good. So for this Maxim's one, what I liked about it the most was the sweet lotus seed paste. It had a really nice, delicate flavor to it. Even though this is a very rich and filling pastry, but I could taste that sweet delicateness of the lotus seed paste. It wasn't overly sweet. You know, it almost had a really nice aftertaste. You know, I could taste that nice refreshingness of the sweet lotus seed. And yeah, it was really smooth. It had a really good mouthfeel. And so my favorite part of this mooncake was the sweet lotus seed paste. And moving on, we have this little guy. This is also from Wenghua, and it's one of their mooncakes that are filled with a different filling. This one is filled with a custard and egg yolk. You can't really see the egg yolk because they're chopped up into little pieces, but yeah, this one's filled with custard and minced egg yolk, and this one was really nice. The filling tasted exactly like something that you would find when you eat dim sum and you order one of those custard-filled steamed buns. The filling tasted exactly like something like that. I liked the flavor of the filling. I didn't really like the texture of the outside pastry and the overall mooncake, because it just sort of, you know, crumbled into one, and I couldn't really taste the outside pastry very well. And because the egg yolk was chopped into really tiny pieces, I couldn't really taste that as well. But, you know, this was good for a change. Okay, so moving on to our non-traditional mooncakes. Now, the traditional mooncakes have been popular for years and years. What has become increasingly popular are these non-traditional ones. And I think out of all the non-traditional ones, these snowy mooncakes are, you know, among one of the most popular. So this is called a snowy mooncake. Other names for it include snow skin mooncake, ice skin mooncake, ice pastry mooncake, and they get their name from the white outside. It's made from a glutinous rice flour. If you've ever had a Japanese mochi, the texture is quite similar to that. They can be filled with, you know, a ton of different things. This one here is filled with a custard and minced egg yolk, so really similar to the one that I just showed you. Again, it has a nice custard, vanilla, eggy sort of filling, and then the salted egg yolk is chopped into pieces, and it's just embedded within the custard. And when you eat it right, sort of right after it's thawed, the outside it's nice and, you know, a little bit chewy, and then the inside is still really cold and a little bit frozen, and it just really melts in your mouth. Now, I have seen so many different other fillings for these snowy mooncakes. This year I've seen ones filled with everything from black sesame to green tea, red bean, mango and pomelo, chocolate, tiramisu, cookies and cream, blueberry cheesecake, and I mean, people are just getting really creative with, what they're, filling these snowy mooncakes with. So this one here again, it's custard with salted egg yolk. I liked it, but I would rather if the custard filling was in a traditional pastry rather than the snow skin pastry, and I think I would prefer this snow skin pastry to be filled with other ingredients. I think that would complement it more. Yeah, other than that, this is a nice alternative to the traditional mooncakes because they're not as filling. And last but not least, we have our haagen-dazs ice cream mooncake. Now, I think foreign food companies are really taking advantage of this Mid-Autumn Festival. Other than haagen-dazs, other companies like Mrs. Fields, Godiva, they've also been making mooncakes. So here we have the haagen-dazs ice cream mooncake. It comes in a really pretty box. It has a really nice, pretty floral pattern to it. It's more of a modern twist to the traditional designs. And inside, there were 6 ice cream mooncakes, and there were, I think, 3 ice cream flavors. I think 2 chocolates, 2 mango, 1 summer berries and cream, and 1 classic milk ice cream. So this is what it looks like on the inside. I think it's just basically regular couverture chocolate on the outside with their regular ice cream on the inside. There really isn't anything too spectacular about this other than the fact that it's a very pretty design. The box is pretty, the outside sort of floral shaped mooncake is really pretty, but other than that, it really just tastes like ice cream covered in chocolate. I think their regular ice cream bars, their frozen ice cream bars, are much tastier than this mooncake. It's basically melting as I'm speaking, and if we don't eat it right away, it's gonna be like, just one big mess. This is also really difficult to share. Once you cut it in half, you have to eat it right away with, a fork. I think that haagen-dazs should actually make a mochi ice cream mooncake. I think that they should use like a mochi wrapper on the outside and fill it with more of their specialty flavors, like their mango raspberry, like their green tea, their coffee flavor, maybe their mango flavor, just something a little bit more different other than chocolate, vanilla, and milk flavor. The fact that the box is really pretty and the design of the mooncake is really nice. Other than that, there's really, the taste is really just like regular ice cream covered in chocolate. So to summarize, I liked the salted egg yolk of the Wenghua one, I liked the outside pastry of the Superstar one, and I liked the sweet lotus seed paste of the Maxim's one. And this custard one was good for a change, and then the custard one with the snowy skin pastry, that one was good, but I prefer if it was filled with a different kind of filling. And then the ice cream mooncake was good if you're someone that really likes ice cream, or if you want to give sort of a different, packaged gift to a friend or a relative. I think if someone could put together the best elements of these 3 mooncakes, that would be awesome. They could put together the egg yolk from this one, pastry from this one, and then the lotus seed paste from that one. I think that would make a really good mooncake. I hope you guys learned a little something about mooncakes. Hope this video was helpful. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Take care and enjoy.